Happy Monday. Welcome to Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. I'm coming on today to update you about summer programming. During the summer months, it's kind of difficult to get people scheduled in for conversations because people are on vacation. And it also gives us a chance to take a break somewhat. So, for the rest of the summer until September 1st, I will be playing some reruns of previous conversations that I had a lot of feedback on, or people enjoyed watching, and some that are memorable. For example, the loss of Bruce Johnson. And I just want to bring some of those to you every Monday now until September 1st. Tonight, I'm going to bring you a rerun of a conversation that I had with the executive director of AMPed, Mr. Dave Christopher. And I thought about AMPed because during the summer, there are a lot of programs for our youth in the city. And AMPed is one that's shining with a real bright light right about now in the city. And so I thought I'd bring Mr. Dave Christopher back so you can, if you didn't hear or see the conversation last year, might have been the year before last, then you can get to meet Mr. Dave Christopher again right here on Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. But before I go to that interview, I want to talk about Black folks working together. Different kind of conversation, but it's come up several times over the last few days, and it's something that I say on the show all the time: help me help you. That if we work together more cohesively, instead of everybody wanting to be a chief, that there are some things that we could do as a race. We see how Asians pool their funds. I don't think we are ever going to pool our money, but I think we can pool our ideas and navigate them in a way that makes us, each individual, feel comfortable in their contributions that they give to a project. We have to be supportive of each other because, as you see now, we are trying to be separated again. You know, us over here and them over there, and they get all the goodies and we get the scraps. Ain't happening. It just ain't happening. We've come far, too far to let anybody push us back, take us back, project us back to the past, like those days were better than these days. Ain't happening. So one of the ways that I think that we can do that is to come together. One thing that I noticed, it was probably the highlight. Excuse me. Give me some water. Excuse me. I guess allergies are something that works. It's been working in my throat for a minute now. But anyway, when I watched the BET Awards this year, the most profound segment of the show was the speech that was given by Busta Rhymes. Okay. In his speech, he spoke to the younger artists as well as speaking to the OGs about us coming together, working with each other, loving each other, and stop hating on each other. See, what some people don't understand, see, your light is your light. No one can take your light from you. When you get a job, that's your job. That's your paycheck. That's all yours. So stop tripping on what other people have and be supportive. I watched the interview with um, Kevin Hart and Jay-Z. Whoa, blew me away. Blew me away. Jay-Z is a billionaire, but Jay-Z comes from the projects. But he comes with some substance that gave him an awareness through his creativity, through his music, um, that he had maybe a third eye, that he could sense things. I feel like I sense things, and I can create things maybe that other people don't think about. But the conversation was on such another level. It wasn't frivolous. Sometimes we don't talk about nothing. We claim we're talking about something, well, and then we end up talking about somebody, but not about somebody in a positive light, but not in a supportive way. And we have to stop backbiting. Backbiting is not attractive. I just want to tell you, because the first time you do it, when you hear yourself do it, you should say, dag, you wish you could eat your words, and we have to start being more loving and supporting of one another in business, of each other in our families. And in the families that's a whole nother show. Because respect and honor in families is missing. It's missing. And it's needed, much needed. But Busta Rhymes was saying, he mentioned something that about the streaming companies being able are making money off of the music, the black music that's out there. While black folks are beefing, our rappers are beefing with each other, our hip hoppers are beefing with each other. Streamers are taking the money and running because y'all ain't paying attention. You're not paying attention. You need to get your own streaming networks. Stop letting people, like Prince said, own your masters. They still owning us. We still working in the fields. You got to own the field. You hear me? You really have to own the field. Or you have to create a playing field where you are in more control of your ideas, your creativity than other folks who say, well, I want you. Apple says, come on over here and work with us and we'll give you this. What value do you put on yourself? No kibbles and bits. I give a little respect to, I give a lot of respect to Monique. Monique stood up, right or wrong, for herself. And now, with time, things do change and things can heal with time. When someone feels like they have been devalued, that's not a good feeling. That's not a good feeling. And I don't care who you are. When someone says, I want you to, when they come to you and say, come do this for me, but I don't have no money. But they got some money because they're going to pay somebody to do something. That's devaluing someone's worth. And we can never let people devalue us. God gave us gifts. He gave us gifts to share. If you don't share some things, you will lose them. Your gifts were given to you to share. I don't know if y'all know that or not, but I think I learned that in Sunday school. So all I'm saying is that BET Awards, most of it I didn't watch, but that conversation, that acceptance speech for his Lifetime Achievement Award was on point. It was on point. It was on time. And we need to just come on, just everybody. If we all just kind of wake up at the same time, then we can be where we need to be. We don't need to be the last ones to know. We want to be the first ones to get there. So that makes it so that we have to be the first ones to know. Or we have to decide what the destination is. So getting there, we're there when other people are trying to get there. Create your own destination. Don't wait for somebody to tell you where you need to be, where you need to go. Stop letting other people make decisions for you. Stop letting other people uh, chip away at your income. Stop letting other people tell you what you're worth. Don't let anybody do that. I don't care who you are, what you're doing. Don't let anybody do that. Never let anyone take your light from you, because it's not done in a positive way. It's not done in a constructive way, um, especially in the arts. I mean, I'm an arts person, so, I'm looking at people that have talent and don't get recognized for their abilities. And some people that get recognized, they don't reach back and pull somebody up and take them through the door with them. We got to do all those types of things. We've got to invest in each other, whether it's in investing with your sweat equity, or if you're in a position to financially invest, or invest your time, like with your friends, to have conversations. Conversation is a wonderful thing. It feels like I'm sitting up here talking to myself, but I know that this conversation, somebody somewhere at some point in time may hear this. And that person that may hear it may be me, because a lot of times you don't know what you really think until you hear yourself say it. Did you hear me? Sometimes, we have thoughts running around in our head. We got all these ideas. But once you verbalize them, they become real. They take on a life of their own. They give you other ideas about directions to go, who to contact, how you're going to get there, what you need to do. You know what I'm saying? When you think you can get there. Okay? So everybody just start thinking about a little bit less about self, Black folks, and think about who can be on my team. But you got to pull people in that are for you. You can't pull haters in. You can't pull people in that are disruptive. You can't pull negative thinkers in. And you really want people with some type of spiritual foundation, because then they know the difference between right and wrong, good and evil, about being fair and unfair. It's almost like choosing your friends all over again. And some of us need new friends. But some of us have old friends that may need enlightening from us. Some of us have friendships that are just that they're there for a specific purpose, and all of them are not for business. Some of them are just for a good time. You know who your friends are, that when it's time to have a good time, you know who to go get. But then there are those friends that when you need someone to bounce ideas off of, go get that friend. Or you need a friend to give you some spiritual guidance. You know who those friends are. And you know who the friends are that are really for you. As they say, you can't take everyone with you. But as a race of people, we're not communal. We're very individualistic thinkers. But we could, like I said, we can take all those different ideas we have. That's what think tanks are for. You get in those think tanks, and don't worry about who's going to take my idea. Nobody can do what you decide is your idea and that you want to create better than you. And the only way to do that is just follow your path. You can't worry about other folks. But we need to come together a little more cohesively because we could be left behind while they're over in the corner plotting on how to become superior to us or how to oppress us again. We need to find a way to insulate ourselves, and that's to insulate ourselves with ourselves. Because see, we created this country was built off of our ideas. A lot of Black folks don't know or believe that and maybe never even think about it. But it was created off of our ideas, our sweat equity, our involvement, our contributions, our talents, our gifts. That's just kind of all I would need to say about that. I hope you hear me. And have those types of conversations with your friends. Say, just how can we do better for one another? About that service thing. Service is not always you got to go volunteer. Service is being of service to mankind. We are here. You are your brother's keeper. We are. Whether we want to be or not. We just are. That's how God made all of this. For us to be each other's keeper. Help me, help you, help me, help you. Help me, help you, help me, help you. I don't know how many times I can say it back and forth for you to get the point. Oh, that's what it means. But if you help me, I can help you. And when I help you, that helps me, go a little higher and do a little better than what I'm trying to do. Got to be a little selfless. Take some of that ego, have it for lunch. Because it will sometimes mostly not get you too far. It will get in the way. It will get in the way. Let your light shine in a bright and positive way towards your friends, towards your business people, towards your family. And that's the name of that tune. Help me, help you. Help me, help you. Help me. Because it's going to come back. Help you. All right. So here we go. I'm going to, I've got to make just an adjustment on this. Hello, Lou. Okay. That's what I have to make the adjustment on. Coming to dinner. Okay. So that's not where I want to go. I want to go there. This is back 2021. Enjoy. Welcome back. I had a little vacation. I had to take a break. Look, too much was going on. I've been in the house, feels like for 2 years, like everybody else. Riding on a plane was a new experience once again. But I made it through. It was different because I had to keep the mask on the whole way. And then, I just really couldn't breathe. And I had to breathe on my husband every now and then. They said, I guess, raise your arm up. Let me lay over here so they can't see. I just got to breathe. Give me 2 seconds. But we made it. We made it there and back. And I guess we got back in time because now there's a heat wave out west. And thank goodness we missed that. So over the weekend, I've got my little bow on here because over the weekend we celebrated the life of Margaret Hammond, a fabulous, phenomenal school teacher who passed, and she was also my aunt. So we were over at Southeast Christian Church, and it was a joyous celebration about her life. Just beautiful stories. We had music. We had laughter. And I think that's how people would want to be remembered, with some joy, because, death is not joy. But if you can make death joyful, a celebration of somebody's life is a wonderful way to do it. And we had a memorial, and the family took pictures. That whole family thing, they just were there and they sat. And these are they're younger than me. I'm kind of the old school broad in the bunch, but they were there and they took pictures, and it was a little festive, and we fellowship together, and it was wonderful. And one of the things that I did, I talked to everyone about honor. Honor is a word that I don't hear much. I hear it used much anymore. And we have to honor our adults, our seniors, our elder members of our family. Honor. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Yes, sir. No, sir. You can't talk crazy to everybody. Just because you talk crazy to your friends, you have to learn what honor is, because at a certain time in your life, you want somebody to honor you. You can't call everybody by their first name. It's Miss So-and-so, Mr. So-and-so. You can't call me by my first name and you're 14 years old. You can't call me Janis. Oh, no, ain't happening. And on that note, talking about the youth, I have a gentleman here today who's doing some heavy lifting. Oh, he's there for our kids, and he's there through the arts. And that piques my interest. And so I'd like hello, Louisville. Guess who's that? I hit the wrong button. Please welcome our dinner guest this evening, Mr. Dave Christopher from Amped. How you doing, Dave?
I'm doing good, Miss Janis.
Wonderful, wonderful. Glad to have you. And I am so happy that you are now in Louisville, Kentucky.
Thank you.
So, I know you said you moved here from somewhere. Where'd you move here from?
I actually came here by way of Atlanta, Georgia. Came here by way of Atlanta, Georgia. I'm originally from Gary, Indiana, though, but I came here by way of Atlanta, Georgia. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So what inspired Amped?
Well, kind of some of the stuff you were talking about earlier when you just started out. I know we had a little conversation before the show, but it's just, trying to find a safe and productive place for young people to be. Yeah. Just giving them an opportunity to do something that didn't just tire them out or just keep them busy, but that was actually something that they could come back the next day to work on and complete, and have something that they could call their own, so they could put their hands on. That was important to our programs, and all of our programs, is that our kids have something tangible they can take with them.
Right. And there's something they can look forward to every day.
Every day.
I used to go to dance lessons 2-3 times a week. I couldn't wait. Right. When I wasn't going to dance lesson, I was playing softball. Yeah. So, our parents kept us busy, and there were programs. And so now our programming seems to be limited. They took the music and the arts out of the schools. And then so the community has to provide that now.
Yes, absolutely. And not just to provide stuff, but just to keep kids busy. I think it's important that if you got them in your care, that you give them. I tell people the music is a trick. That's to get you through the door. Because there's a whole lot more we want to give you. We want to give you, one of our biggest things was about, a lot of times our kids are dealing with trauma, social trauma, things that are going on around them they don't even understand. And it plays itself out in behavior in school and the different things you see. Yes. And you think, oh, these are just bad kids. No, they're suffering from trauma. They're dealing with some things that somehow you don't recognize, and somehow you, for whatever reason, think that they need to be able to process as kids. And we one minute we want to, how people used to do with their kids when the kid did something crazy. Oh, he's just a baby. And then when he did something that you like, oh, ain't he something? Yeah, make up your mind. Like, right. But they're babies, they're young, and there's a reason your insurance doesn't go down till you're 25. Your brain's still trying to grow. So we need to be fair. I tell people the best parent, the best mentor, the best adult, the person that's best qualified to take care of kids is somebody that messed up and remembers.
Okay, you're absolutely right, because they've got a story, they got a testimony,
and they didn't forget. Because then when kids do stuff you think is crazy, you think, wait a minute, I did that. And so you're a little bit more patient, you're a little bit understanding. You then can correct them, and they don't, because kids are sharp. They know when you care, they know when you don't.
Right.
And so
Absolutely.
a lot of times we approach these kids with judgment, and they see that and they don't want to hear that.
Right. Right.
You know?
I know I used to, when I subbed at some of the middle schools, I caught myself as far as reprimanding in front of other children. And so I said, now, this one is a cut up. So I said, come here, baby. I take him outside, especially if they didn't talk crazy to me, right? I said, look, do you talk to your mother like that? Are you grandmother? So you think I'm going to let you? But I had him outside. I said, look, we're going to start all over. I'm not going to put you out. I'm not going to send you to the office, but we're going to start all over. And just to say, because they test you. I said, I know how you treat substitute teachers. I used to be, I used to be you.
Yeah.
So they had to understand that I'm not here just to spoil your day, and nor am I here for you to spoil mine. Amen. So, because I might be back tomorrow. You don't know if your teacher's coming back tomorrow. And then they will kind of calm. You have to use a little psychology on them. But at the same time, like you say, trauma. This is a word, David. I had Professor John Chenault on Friday, and he's at the University of Louisville, where he's teaching the School of Medicine about understanding the trauma that Black folks deal with in his method of the way that they care for us and in that profession. And I have heard it come up several times, the trauma started in our great grandmother's womb.
Yep.
And it's been going on for decades and a few centuries.
Yeah. Because you think about like all the crime that we see and that we get frustrated by as adults, the murder rate and all those things, and we somehow act like the kids don't see that, and they don't, these are their friends. This was probably about maybe 6 months ago when a young man got killed. I had 3 of my teenagers call me or text me at like 11, 12 o'clock at night. And one said specifically that he said, "I'm scared, Mr. Dave."
Oh, wow.
They get it. They feel that same, and be out here believing that they just not affected by it, they don't care about it or whatever. And they say there's 5 to 10% of people causing 95% of the problems.
Right.
And so, but we put that on all our kids. We do a blanket, there's a shotgun blast to say they're all crazy.
Right.
And the fact is, ain't none of them crazy, but all of them dealing with stuff.
Right. And you know what I found out when I moved back to Louisville, I found out that a lot of the kids say that they don't think they were going to live past 18, 19 years. I never heard of such a thought.
Yeah. And they believe that. They believe that. And so in a lot of cases, that's why they seem to not care. But it's just like, what am I, let me have some fun now. Let me go ahead and do what I want to do, because my friend, my little 13-year-old buddy just got shot. He dead. And the last couple of weeks ago before that, somebody else got shot. I'm just waiting my turn.
Right. Tell me what AMPED is. What do the letters AMPED stand for? So
it stands for the Academy of Music Production, Education, and Development.
Okay.
Founded it back in 2014, actually in response to during the Derby, in response to some of the stuff that was going on during the Derby, during the Pegasus Parade. And oddly, one of the young men that was involved in the shooting down there, ended up going to jail for it, was a young man that I knew and that I began to start, trying to mentor. He was having dealing with a lot of stuff and trying to mentor him. And he was the one that ended up, that ended up going, and I'm still in touch with him to this day. He's done his time. He's gotten out. I employed him for a while until he can get on his feet, get himself together when he was released from prison. Okay. But yeah, that's how it started out. It started out really as a program. Mayor Fisher at the time during the Festival of Faith was looking for programs, and I created the program. I mean, it sounds crazy. I did it in like 3 days because it doesn't
sound crazy. I think of them all the time.
Yeah. I came up with the idea, designed the logo, built the website the next day, got the tax ID the next day, started, had a banner created, and then when Professor Face came around, it looked like I'd been around forever. And what was funny but not funny is that I was trying to see if anybody was interested in a summer camp.
Okay.
And it was an overwhelming interest, and I had no summer camp plan. I had no idea what I was going to do because I didn't think that.
So it was getting ready to start, huh?
Yeah. So people were like, okay, all these kids signed up for it, and I'm thinking, oh, okay, I guess I got to do a summer camp, and we did.
So tell me about what it is that they learn. I know some of them write music, and they produce their music, and just tell me what's the process.
The way I put it is, they can come through the front door with an idea and walk out the back door with a product. So every single thing that you can think of that has anything to do with the business of music, we do. So all the instruments, bar none.
Okay.
Audio production, video production, website development, music theory, songwriting, voice, business contracts, how to write contracts, how to book shows, you name it, we teach it. Everything. We have recording studios. We have 2 locations. We have full service recording studios. Not like a little closet. It's a real live studio with a separate vocal booth, drum room, and the top of the line equipment. And these kids work with all of those different things because what we know is that if we don't give them the best, when they get out there and start to have to compete with other folks that do have the best, they won't be able to compete.
Right. So they have. I've seen them perform. They used to perform down in Shawnee Park for Sherry's District 5 Appreciation Day, and I even had them. They even sang a song for me at my Dirt Bowl celebration. Because it's very important that we include them, because now we're at what we were talking about is our children are trapped in a war zone in this city, and which makes the whole community feel like they're hostages. But these kids are hostages as well. They're afraid to go outside. When did it get so that a child can't go outside, go to the park and play, or walk down the street to the store? Come on.
Yeah.
It's frightening.
When you look at, I tell people we're looking. I'm not saying everybody's not looking at the right thing, but I'm gonna tell you what we all should be looking at.
Okay.
We should all be looking at poverty. Poverty is the cancer. What we see in violence and drug activity and kids just kind of acting out is the symptoms of that poverty. If you think about Louisville, Kentucky, it's 22% of the population in Louisville, Kentucky is black.
Right.
Over 85% of that population lives in West Louisville.
Okay.
65% of that 85% of blacks that live in West Louisville live at or below the poverty line. There are no grocery stores.
Right.
There are no programs. It's underserved. It's all no access for reliable internet.
Right.
What is it? Something like 65% of the homes don't have anything beyond a cell phone in terms of technology in their homes. So these kids are out here trying to find something to do because we haven't given them something to do. And right. When I talk about poverty, one thing that I can tell people about our program is, and this even confuses the kids sometimes. We teach them all that we teach them: how to play the instrument, how to write the songs, how to record the music, all those things. But every single time we ask them to perform, we pay them. We pay them because they put the work in. We don't short of doing something for Miss Janis. Them kids gonna get paid because now we give them to understand if it's something that you should just do for free, that's fine, do it because you should. It's a nice thing to do for the right people.
Right.
But if that organization is making money, then our kids need to make money.
Their kids need to make money.
And so what that does, Miss Janis, is that puts money in their pocket so they don't have to go out there and do the things.
Right.
And when I talk about productive, that means we got kids that have one young lady is working on her second album. Another young man is working on his third album. They're selling their music on iTunes and Spotify and different places like that. They're selling their merchandise. They're doing shows. They're making money. And so we can act, because I know of myself as a kid. I grew up in Gary, Indiana in poverty, and both my parents were disabled. I was working at 12 years old.
Okay.
Now, if I didn't have grass to cut or babysit to do, washing cars, whatever,
right.
I'd been out there doing what the rest of the people in my neighborhood were doing.
Right. Exactly. And you know, it's something when our children are motivated. Like you said, you told me, you said, and they don't have to pay to come to Amped.
No, no.
When you said that to me, that just clutched my heart,
Yeah.
because I'm trying to figure out, if payment in the program that you and I were discussing was a part of. You said we don't charge our children. I'm like, yes, but
Yeah.
we'll pay them. Yes, thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Because that's an incentive not to go the other way. Know that you can make X amount of dollars this week if you're doing something, or you're working on your product and selling their music on the internet. Wow, that's
Yeah.
wonderful. That's
Well,
wonderful.
no, we've not charged since 2004. Since I founded the program. For all of our programs, we have other programs. Not one of our programs we charge any child or any adult has ever paid for our program.
That's
We
wonderful.
we fundraise and we have revenue models and stuff things that we do that we raise money for to pay for those programs, to keep those programs free.
Okay. So now tell me about your newest venture. Tell me about the Technology Center
Yes.
Incubator.
Yes, the Russell Technology Business Incubator. So I'll tell you the path to, if you will, the Russell Technology Business Incubator. Because what I like to talk about is the ecosystem that we're trying to create to get rid to bring the community, so to build a community from within. Because I'm a firm believer that everything that we need is right there where we are. We don't have to go outside for this. So when you look at the music program, where we take kids and we bring them in, we keep them safe, and we give them something productive to do. What we did with that is we gave the parents a peace of mind. So now that stress and that trauma and that concern is off the parent, because the child is safe with us, learning something. They're great. We're looking at their grades, attendance, behavior, and things like that. So we're getting all that together for them. So they're doing better in school. They're behaving better.
Right.
That's a burden on the parents. Then we looked at the parents that are struggling because they're either having 2 or 3 jobs, or unemployed or underemployed, and trying to take care of their own kid. Now, the difference in our programs is all of our programs is the whole idea for us is to get you away from us on your own. In our music program, when a kid learns the instrument, we give it to them. They get to keep the instrument. They take it home. I don't care what it is. If it's a drum set, if it's a piano, if it's a computer, whatever it is that they learn to work with, we give it to them. We go through a lot of equipment.
Wow.
Because we give it away.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, no. If they get their grades together and they learn the instrument, we give them the instrument. Because
that's good. That's good motivation.
Well, here's the reason we do it. That's because what we find is kids are motivated when you believe in them. They really are. Like we don't. There's not that we give them is not to entice them to do better.
Right.
We just love on them, and they're excited about how much we believe in them, and that entices them.
And they've earned it.
They have absolutely
earned it.
And we tell them that. And so if you earn it, so that's what's happening. They earned that instrument. And what's beautiful is that now, if they can't make it to AMP that day, they can still practice the piano. If they can't make it to AMP that day, they can still play the guitar. And so we want them to be able to manage on their own, but they always want to come back to us. I mean, that's been an experience, right?
Right.
Well, that's the kids. And then so what we looked at was the parents were struggling. So let's figure out how we can help them. So we started the AMP Family Learning Program. That's where we brought the kids and the parents together to learn music together. But we not only just had them learning music together, we took the parents and gave them resume writing skills and interviewing job skills. But then we said, we're not going to do all that just so you get a job that doesn't pay a living wage. We're training Black folks in technology. It starts at a living wage.
Okay.
You're doing IT help desk. You're doing data analytics and data science.
Doing some coding?
Yes, ma'am.
All
yes,
right.
ma'am. And so we actually started because we couldn't get those folks hired because these are folks that didn't have college degrees.
Right.
Some didn't have high school diplomas. So we couldn't get them hired. So what we did was what my father said to me at 12 years old: if nobody will hire you, hire yourself. Right. So we started our own company called AMP Tech, and we hired those people. We paid them $15 an hour plus free medical.
Wow.
And so now here's the thing. The reason that that's possible is because that's just a transition point for them. Because then we were able to get companies like Young Brands, Brown Forman, Humana, Kendrick, companies like that. So then if we trained them, they had jobs ready for them. Not like maybe a job, but they have jobs that start, get this, Ms. Janis, they start at $65,000 a year.
Hush up.
And so and now mind you, when they're going through that training, we're paying them while they go through the training because we know we don't have to pay them a short time because the companies like Humana have promised us jobs. If we get them through the training program, they promised us jobs. And they've kept their promise. And we're even ramping it up now. Like we got a class that's going on tonight. And so what we realize is that when we can get people in jobs like that, then they can then take care of their own kids.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like they can be advocates for their own kids because that's what the Family Learning Program was about, making them advocates for their own program. So that was the tech program. But then, Ms. Janis, we thought about, okay, so we talking about in the community, right? So we got the kids covered. We got the parents covered. Now the parents got disposable income. They can buy some things. They can take care of some stuff, but they don't have amenities in their community to spend that money. So what they're going to do? What most people do when they make some money, if they're living in a low-income area, they jump up and they get out. So what we needed to do was make sure that the businesses that they needed to provide services to them were still there. So that's
okay.
That's why we opened up the Russell Technology Business Incubator so that we could build those Black businesses to where they could then support the folks that now got money. Because this
the Russell, that community became the infrastructure, needed some infrastructure.
Yeah, right. Because absolutely, it needed. So we right now, this is funny because we were only supposed to incubate 10 businesses per year. We're going to take 10 businesses and we're going to give them everything they need. I mean, Lynn, I'll tell you in a minute everything they get. We're going to incubate them for a year, 10 businesses. Well, you know, Dave, you know, I'm hard with no's are hard for me. So I interviewed, you know, some more. So then it went from 10, 15, then 20, then 25. And it ended up at 41 businesses. And that's when my team was like, Dave, we can't do this anymore. Because they asked me, said, well, how are you going to do that? I said, well, I just need to keep raising money. And so I just kept trying to raise money and raise more money. And folks were buying, you know, they were believing in what we were doing. And so now we're at, because so here's the thing, we had to let go of some of those businesses because they didn't want to do the work. And I tell them, not because you didn't want it, but because you weren't ready yet. See, I believe that you want it, you're just not ready for it yet. And we have responsibility to be good stewards of the funds that people give us. And so if you're not going to participate and do what you need to do, then let's put you on pause, put you in line, because we have a waiting list. That's what,
so there's somebody that's more willing.
We have a waiting list of probably at this point about 50 some businesses that are waiting to get in. And so in this Russell Technology Business Incubator, what I thought about, and this kind of came about in 2020. This is when I first came up with this idea. In April of 2020, the worst year of all, the worst year. And a friend called me up and he was like, Dave, you know, back when your white friends were calling and saying, hey, how you doing? And can I help or whatever? And so my good friend called me up and he's asked, and I said, I'm not good, man. Clearly, I'm not okay. And he said, and I, you know, did some, don't pardon me now because I did some cursing, and I, you know, because I want. Thank you, because I let it go. And he said, "Was anything?" I said, "Man, I don't know what." And then that thought came to me about the condition of. Think about this: of the all the businesses in Louisville, Kentucky, only 0.8% are Black owned. 0.8%.
And the Black-owned businesses are struggling.
Oh yeah,
we do have.
Think about that's right. So that's what I said. It's like they're struggling. The ones we do have are struggling. So, and then you look at the fact that nationally, the average income for a Black business is only $25,000.
Wow.
On average. So I said, what do Black businesses need? And I'm saying, I had Latinx in it. So Black and Latinx business, what do they need to be successful? Right. And my answer to myself was everything. Everything.
Yes.
And so how do I give them everything? I mean, so I said, okay, how do I give them what we call entrepreneurial support or the rich uncle, which means if your car breaks down or your LG&E bill is too high or you need something that has nothing to do with business, I'm going to give you the money to do it because I don't want you to mess with your business money to do it. So we got that money set aside. Seed capital, if you need equipment, if you need an accountant. And when I say you need an accountant, I'm not talking about somebody going to teach you how to do your books. I'm talking about somebody to do your books for you. Because that's a mistake a lot of businesses, especially black and brown businesses, make at the very beginning. You get the money wrong. And now you paying Uncle Sam, you paying IRS.
And you're going backwards.
Yeah, you're
definitely going backwards.
You're going backwards. So we can't say, oh well, let's just teach them how to do it, give them some money, teach them how to do it. No, we need to have somebody do it for you while we teach you how to do it. So you got a year's worth of that. If you need legal, if you need licensing. I don't care what it is. I mean, I just sent a lady a payment for. She's writing a book. She's writing some books. She needed to have them copyrighted and she needed to have them edited. She told me how much that cost. I sent the money to the person that she was doing, having to do the work. Done. And we try to use Black and brown vendors as much as we can for the services that we provide. If you need a website built, we paying for it. Not only that, we have mental health counseling. We hired Creative Spirits Behavioral Health, Ms. Cassandra Gray. Her and her company are amazing. I mean, we all
is that the new company, that the Black-owned company that I see on TV now talking about up on Clifton Avenue?
I think you might be talking about the asphalt company. You talking about,
no, this is a medical company.
It might be because I don't know if they're doing commercials or not, but this is Cassandra Gray and Kylan Gray. He's a pastor, as a matter of fact. Pastor Kylan Gray, Creative Spirits Behavioral Health.
Creative Spirits.
Yeah, you got. I mean, this every one of our businesses, every person in our business in our incubator has access to them as much as they want. As much as they want to see them, you get to see them, because we know that there's a lot of trauma going on. You've been struggling all these years, and then not only that. So one of the founders actually said this to me, and it made perfect sense. Nobody's ever done what we're doing. What we say, we're giving you everything you need. If your mind ain't ready for that, you're gonna mess it up.
Right.
You're gonna mess it up. So we gotta get you something so that you can, because here's the thing. What I tell people is, a lot of times when I'm sitting there counseling different businesses, I said we need to stop asking for what we think we'll get and start asking for what we need. We
need, right.
Well, that's what
between need and want.
Yeah.
Gotta know the difference.
We do that as default. We because I'll talk to them, I say, well, tell me how much you think you need to get your business going. Oh, I could probably get by with like 50,000. Yeah, you probably could get by with 50,000.
Get by, right.
Right, but that's not what we're trying to do.
You set me straight.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I do remember that.
Yeah.
It's not like, okay, tell me what it is you need.
Yes.
And I said, oh, okay.
Because here's the thing.
I said, I'm going home, and I'm putting pen in the paper, and I wrote down what I needed.
Yeah, because here's the thing. Even if you can't get it right now, if somebody asks you, then it ain't on there.
Right.
If somebody comes to you and says, hey, because I've had it happen to me where somebody's come to me and said, hey, what could you do with this money? Here you go. I can show you exactly what I can do with that money.
Right.
And it was somebody coming and said, how much do you need for so-and-so? Here's exactly what I need.
Right.
Because I thought about everything. So we have that. So we have the behavioral health piece. We also have a wealth strategist out of Maryland, Dr. Pamela Jolly, because what I tell them is you're going to be wealthy. Okay. So what she's teaching them in her program, what she's teaching them is how to get wealth and how to keep it.
Does she live here, or is she just does the Zoom thing?
No, we meet with her virtually. She's been here. She's been here in Louisville, but she's actually from Maryland. And amazing. If you get a chance, because Torch Enterprises, her name is Dr. Pamela Jolly. If you get a chance, definitely check her out. She's amazing.
Jolley or just
like she said it.
Jolie.
She Jollly.
Jolly. Okay.
Jolly. Yeah, she says
she's
a Jolly girl.
Pamela.
Pamela, yes, okay. Dr. Pamela Jolly.
All right.
Torch Enterprises. But do check her out. But so she says it takes 3 generations to build wealth and only 1 to tear it down.
To tear it down.
And so if you don't get that knowledge, that's what we do. We're trying to build legacy businesses.
Right.
And so if you can pass the business down, but if you don't pass the knowledge that goes with that business to keep it strong, your business will fail. We've seen it so many times in the Black community,
right,
where the kids ain't got the knowledge or the skill to keep that business going, and it fails, and it ends up being an empty, vacant and abandoned building in West Louisville. Right. And that's because the people before them, and not to lay blame, of course, but the people before them said, okay, here's this business, figure it out like I did.
Mm-hmm. But we need that business plan is crucial.
Yes.
That business plan is crucial because sometimes people say, well, I'm a chef. Okay, just take that for example. Because first they can cook at home, and then now they've got to have a place. They've got to have a bricks and mortar. They got to go there. But sometimes they go there too soon. Yeah. I watch a whole lot of what's my show? Shark Tank.
Yeah.
I watch a whole lot of The Profit
Yeah.
because I'm getting my pitch together. When I go and ask for those millions, I'm going to have my numbers right. Even if I don't have any numbers, I know how to dress it up and make it sound like it's a prototype.
Right.
You know
But
what I'm
you always
saying?
have the numbers, because that's the thing is there's enough research you can do to find out what it is you need.
Right.
And I always ask for what you need. Like I ask for what you need and make sure, and I tell people count the toothpicks. Like if I count the toothpicks. Count the toothpicks.
Okay.
You'll discover you're making sandwiches and you want to put little toothpicks in them, but you didn't count the toothpicks. So every toothpick you put in that sandwich, you're losing money.
And either you have the ones with or without the little wrapping on the top.
Right. But you ain't count them. You didn't count the toothpicks. You trying to figure out, like, where's that $5,000 a year going? It's in the toothpicks.
Yeah. Toothpicks can make you go broke if you don't count them.
If you don't count them. I know people, like you talk about the restaurant business, where people are making their favorite thing, the thing that everybody buys on their menu. People, you hear them say it. We sell out of those. That's our best seller. Not even knowing that whatever that is, you're losing money every time you sell it.
Okay.
People don't understand that you have to look at the cost of that item.
Cost of the item, okay.
The cost of the item, just because it's popular don't mean it's popular.
Okay.
It's popular because people like it.
Your profit margin might be smaller on that than it is with something else.
Sometimes it's in reverse. Because you know what people love about that sandwich? It's got so much bacon on it.
Oh.
It's got so much bacon on it.
Oh, and that bacon is
and they put extra cheese on there, and they use the best bread. But they ain't charging for none of that.
Right. It's something, that even the program that I sent to you, it was about, my whole approach is that I'm 50 years in show business. Mm-hmm. And I just feel like I've got all this experience and knowledge, and I'm not sharing it with anybody.
Yeah.
And I think that's sinful. That I have, but it's not because I haven't been out here trying to find a way to share my gifts, but I know that this city has always been known to have a lot of talented youth in it. Mm-hmm. And I'm saying some of these kids that graduated from high school, don't go to college, don't have jobs, sitting on mama's couch, smoking weed, waiting for their friends to come over so they can talk about doing some dumb stuff together, okay? That they might be and probably are very talented, very smart. If they can sit up and think of some dumb, crazy stuff to do just to create something in their minds, but that these students might want to sing, they might want to dance, they might want to play an instrument. They might want to be a comedian, but they have no one to tell them, this is how you get into show business. This is how you start to hone your craft. This is really, what you do.
It's really about the approach, though, Ms. Janis. It's about how you have to, like with the programs that we had, even as a Black person talking to another Black person, you still have to develop this trust, and you have to get them to believe that. Because you know why we pay people when they go through our training programs? Because it's hard to tell somebody that's dealing with stuff to go somewhere and do something that might help them. They got problems now. They got stuff they're dealing with now. They got stuff they're trying to escape now. Right. And you're saying, okay, stop that and come do this. Well, how do I know you even mean it? Because I mean, you sound just like the cat that had me come into so-and-so, and that didn't turn into anything.
Right.
And so we have to think about like our part in, how they ended up where they are and how we pull them out of where they are. And the biggest thing is, like I tell people, I have yet to have a child or adult to walk through our door that wasn't capable. Right. Every single one of them, I tell people, like, they already have what they need. Just like you talking about, they sitting on that couch, they have a talent.
They have talent.
We just have to figure out what it is. And so what we've done is we said, okay, we don't know that we think that you might be attracted to music. And so we always have a way, with the music program, it's always a waiting list. Fills up almost as quick as before we can even get it out to the public. It's full, but that's because they realize this is the best compliment I ever got from a student in our program. What this young lady said when the news asked her about it, they said, what did you like about Ant? What keeps you coming back? This young lady said, because they don't tell us what to do. They ask us what we want to do, and then they help us to do it.
Wow.
They give us the things.
That's
That's what we have to do, because we tend to want to, and I tell our kids this and our adults the same thing, is that we tend to want to tell people what success is for them, or what they should love, what they should care about.
Right.
I want to find out from you. I had a guy in my office today. He just, he needed to get a job. He's got some situations going on, and he was like, "Okay, I just need a job." I said, "Well, tell me if you could do anything, what would that be?" Mm-hmm. And it turned out not to be what he came there for. And so I said, let's do this, because you need immediate help. You need a paycheck. We're gonna do that. But let's think about like what you just said. Let's think about how we make that work. Because that's where he's really at. Because when I'm in need, if I'm hungry, you could feed me a dried up frog. And if I'm hungry enough, I'm gonna eat it. You know what I'm saying? Right. But what if I wanted some frog legs? You know what I mean?
Right.
You know what I mean? So like,
yeah. Well, I had that same kind of situation. I'm going to do a workshop for Goodwill. Mm-hmm. Or they've got a program called Rise. Mm-hmm. And so the young lady met me and she said, well, would you come and speak to my class? And so I had to think about something. So I wrote up a piece called Dare to Dream. I want you to think about your ideal place where you want to live. Where would you really like to live? If you any place other than Louisville, where would you want to live? What is your ideal job or profession? What do you really want to be in life? Mm-hmm. What makes you passionate? What would make you really work hard to achieve some kind of respectability in that? And then we will navigate what you need to do to get from A to B to C to D, your courage, your confidence in yourself, your ability to remove the barriers. You got to have some basics. You got to have housing, transportation, okay, and some health insurance, okay. Do you have those now? So maybe what you want to be, do you need to go back to school?
Yeah.
Or is it something that doesn't need any more schooling? You just need to kind of start doing what you say you want to do. Mm-hmm. Because sometimes it's just stepping out there. I never knew. I thought when I went to college, Dave, I was going to be a physical therapist. Mm. Music was not, it was in me, but not like that.
Right.
My mother knew I could do what I was doing. So it was sing for me at the church. Miss So-and-so died. Sing at somebody's wedding. And I do it, and then I come home, change my clothes, and go play softball. I thought I was an athlete, right? And then once, just a real quick story, my mother's best friend was a jazz singer at Joe's.
Joe's Ballroom? Yeah.
When it was in its glory days. And we had, at that time, before Indianapolis, Naptown woke up and Louisville went to sleep.
Yeah.
Louisville had the biggest Black expo in the country. Okay. And with that expo, they had a talent contest. Well, I was maybe 90 pounds, no top, no bottom, wore glasses, so I'm not your beauty queen. But my mother's friend asked me, she said, little baby, she said, you ever thought about being in Miss Exposition? I said, yeah. I said, but I think it's rigged. My mother's not going to pay for me to win anything. She said, well, now. She said, but have you thought about it? I said, yeah, I have thought about it. She said, well, why don't you go watch them? She said, they practice at the 10th Street Y on Saturdays. I went, I caught the bus. Kids don't know nothing about catching no bus. Mama got to take you everywhere. I sat in the corner and I watched. And I went back home and I called her. She said, well, what do you think? I said, well, I didn't see nobody that was doing something that I can't do. And she said, well, do you want to be in the contest? So I said, it's too late. She said, no, do you want to be in it? I said, yes, ma'am.
Right.
Call me back. I get in the contest. I'm number 13, Dave. So if that tells you anything, I said, oh, well, here we go already. I'm number.
This ain't gonna work out.
Long story short, I win. Okay. I sing Alfie and hit a bad note. Just one, though. to a crowd of 5,000 black folks making a whole lot of noise who shut up.
Wow.
Okay. So that was the moment. That was my aha. Well, maybe I can sing because they got quiet.
Right. Yeah.
So then the rest of my life, still I'm on the pattern to be this physical therapist, but life said, no, that's not where you're going. But I was not afraid. And that's what, a lot of times when I hear kids go off to school and parents say, oh, I don't want them to go, let them go. They can go to U of L. They can stay here. They can go to JC's. Let them go.
Yeah.
Let them go. Let them spread their wings, because there's a confidence that you get when you take chances.
Yes.
When life says, what if you had the chance to do this? Would you go? Yeah. And so many of our kids would probably go, but they also have to be motivated. They need that family support. They need that love. We're here for you. If it doesn't work, you can always come home.
Right.
But it's and that's what I told her that's what I'm gonna do for her class, but I'm gonna have them design their life.
There you go. That's it. And they can take it from there.
I tell people, I said, I go to bed to dream. I wake up the next day, I know exactly what I'm gonna do, how I'm gonna do it, when I'm gonna do it. Wow. Wow. That's what our kids need all the motivation and love that you and AMP give them. And I want to thank you for just having the program, because it makes my heart feel good that there's some place that they can go. If they really want to go, there's some place that they can go. And now we've got the incubator, because everybody's not meant to be out front. Sometimes you might be the director,
right,
or the videographer, or the light man, or the sound man.
Yeah.
You got to find your niche.
And that's what they get to choose that. We tell them, you decide what you want to do, and let us help you do what it is you want to do.
That's wonderful. Okay, all you parents out there, you hear that? Your children get to decide what they want to do, not you telling them what to do, but what they want to do.
That's hard for parents. Some parents, because you made up somebody told you what success looks like. Mm-hmm. Like my son does music.
Okay.
And so my background is in technology, and so technology notoriously makes is well paid. Mm-hmm. And his my in-laws, his parents, all these folks would talk to him. His mother would talk. They better like, why don't you do what your dad does? He doesn't want to do what his dad does.
No, he didn't want to do that.
I said, look. If you can keep a roof over your head, put food on your table, put clothes on your back, you do what you want to do. And he is. He's out. He's got his own place. He's paying his own bills, and and he's taking care of himself.
There you go. I didn't want to be a starving artist, Dave. So I had my degree.
Right.
So I could always go teach.
Yes. Yes.
But
it costs money for your dream. Your dream costs money.
I said, I can't. I only weighed so much. I said, I'm not missing no meals. Talking about being no starving artist, they ain't happening.
Yeah, I think that's a crazy idea. That's why we want to open up this. I'm working on now arts business incubator.
Okay.
That's the project I'm working on now for that very reason that doesn't make sense. There's nothing noble about being a starving artist. That you should be able to make a living. You should be able to not even have to go anywhere but to, like I had a guy, this actually happened just recently. When you were at my building, I don't know if you saw the mural that was in the hallway. Mm-hmm. So that mural that was in the hallway, there was a young man that was out there doing the line art for the. So the mural is really, if you will, a dedication to Old Walnut Street.
Right.
And what it is an amped kid coming from Old Walnut Street, looking into the future of Black business. And so this young man was one of the muralists that was with the painting along with Ashley Cathy. It was called the Healing Walls Project. Ashley Cathy and some other folks were helping, and this young man named Brandon was doing the art. He was doing the line art. And I came late, like that afternoon, and he was gone. And I said, where did the other guy go? There was another guy here earlier. He said, oh, he had to leave and go to work. I said, go to work? Where does he work at? They said he works as a cashier, and I think on Target or somewhere. He works as a cashier. And I said, and it just like it came out of me like I said, that's dumb. And they looked at me like, I said, as far as talented as this young man is, how is it that he has to leave here, doing what he loves and doing it so well, to go ring up people's stuff? And so the next day, he was out there, and I tell people, I let God lead my yeses. Like whatever God puts on my heart, I try to hear his voice versus mine.
Okay.
And so the next day, the young man was out there painting, and I went down the hallway and I was kind of looking at the work they were doing. I said, hey, so you work another job? He goes, you work somewhere? He goes, yeah, I work at the Target, whatever. I said, huh? I said, why? He said, well, I mean, I got a baby, I got to pay bills. I said, you want to come work for me?
Yeah.
And he said, I mean, yeah, I guess. What would I do? I said, I don't know, but you shouldn't be going ringing people's food up. Yeah. I mean, you have a great talent. I don't know what you'll do. I said, but if you want to work for me, I'm going to pay you.
Wow.
And so he got him in. He did all this paperwork, and we got him all in and whatever. And here's the thing, because God knew better than I did. Okay. Again, like I said, when I said it, I didn't know, because you don't necessarily do art classes, right? We do music. Right. So what I decided was, and this guy's amazing. This young man is amazing, because that's what I know about the people that I hire. When God says do it, do it. I said, when I met with him the first time after he was hired, he was on the staff, I said, this is what I need you to do. I need you to take the rest of this week, go home, take the rest of this week, and come up with a program, an arts program for me. Right. And what I'm going to do is you're going to come up with the program, and then I'm going to send you out to people to programs that can't afford an arts program. And I'm going to let you do an arts program for them at no cost to them. And he did. And so we got dates. So there's a couple of schools we'll go to, some local organizations that looking for programming. Wow. And he'll go out and he'll do it. And he'll do what he loves. That's how you do it. That's working it, Dave. Yeah. That's sure enough working it. I don't regret that once. I mean, like I tell people that because I know it'll work when God put it on my heart. Yeah, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. God has blessed us with your presence in our city. I'm blessed. I love Louisville. It is seriously a blessing. Every single day I get up and I get the opportunity. God has blessed me with the opportunity to help people, and to have so many people like yourself that give us the opportunity to share this information with folks. Because here's the thing: is for as much as we talk about all the bad, and it's true, it's like bad things are happening. But the fact is that this is a beautiful city with a lot of lovely people and a lot of amazing kids and parents. Parents that are struggling, and until we figure out that poverty thing. Until we do something about that and stop worrying about what folks are saying about this or that and start doing something. Because I turn away and walk away from you when you start talking crazy to me about what so-and-so this and so-and-so that. Look, tell me what you're going to do. Right. We need all hands on deck. Yes. We need everybody. We need each one teach one. Yes. Some kind of way. We've got to take back our children, save them from the streets. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because the streets are out there. We've got to occupy their time, their mind, and give them a whole lot of love. A whole lot of love, as much as we do. Dave Christopher, amped. Yes, thank you, Ms. Janis. Russell Technical Business. Russell Technology. We got the RTBI. RTBI. I just referred to as RTBI, Russell Technology Business Incubator. Okay. And so I'll say this too. They want to get into technology? No. We focus on technology businesses, but we also do technology training. So yes. Some training, right. But we take all kinds of businesses. So we have restaurants, caterers, home repair. We have a couple of nonprofits in there. So any kind of business that you have, and then because the incubator is full right now, you can still come in and get, like, if you're looking for an accountant, if you need help with some advice on strategy or something, whatever you need, we can still try to help you. How many businesses are in the are at the West Jefferson, the village? Yeah, right now, we have 37 businesses right now. Get out of here. Yeah, 37 businesses, and we're helping. We're doing like remodels on some of them. some of the restaurants. We're doing remodels. We help, like, so for example, with people with, they're struggling with credit and that kind of thing, trying to get a space, because right now they're in predatory leasing situations where people are taking advantage of because they can't do better. What we're doing is we're working with the banks and saying, look, we'll put this money in an account. If you give this person a line of credit, we'll guarantee that line of credit. So to run your business, if you need $10,000 line of credit because you can't keep up with the demand, then we'll tell the bank, look, give them that line of credit. Don't worry about them defaulting, because we have $10,000 sitting right here that if they can't make the payment, we will.
Wow, you're awesome.
No,
you don't sleep at night, do you? Look, you about like me. You're dreaming. Okay, so I can get this money from over there.
Oh yeah,
and I can go get. Look,
yeah.
I applaud you, my brother. I applaud you. I love you. I love you dearly, because I mean, and you straight no chaser. No, when I came in and I sat down and I told you about my program, you said, well, Jess, I started trying to give you my spiel. You said, you got to do all that. No. I said, it was so refreshing. It was like, I felt like, you always feel like sometimes you have to keep selling yourself.
And we shouldn't do that. We shouldn't have to do that. And I say that only to a degree, right? So what I tell people is that for me, and I think I said this to you, if you got through the door, then you were already there. Right. You were good. And what it is like, because I've had that happen before, is what we do is we tend to want to try to impress people and convince them of stuff that they should just understand. If I'm a good business person, I know a good business idea, and I know what that looks like. Right. So if you come to me and you tell me what the idea is and how you're going to operate, how you're going to make it operate, I can tell you yes or no. But I'm not going to I don't get to throw anybody away. So what I might, because I've had this happen where I told some young men, I said, and they're coming back to see me on Friday, I said, don't ever come in my conference room again like that. Don't do it. Don't come in here and show me nothing on your phone. Don't come in here if you're not prepared. And I love you. Get it together. Come back and see me. And because I can't let you get away with that. And I told him, I said, I'm not mad at you at all. Mm-hmm. You did what you thought you could do.
Right.
But then at the same time, then Miss Janis Miller comes in, ready, prepared. I know her. I know your reputation. I know what you're capable of. I know how professional you are. So what do I have to consider? Nothing. I got to consider how we get you started.
Yeah, so did. I said, well, thank you, Jesus.
Right.
I said, because for almost the last 3-4 years, mm-hmm. I had been doing the other thing. Mm-hmm. And I'm saying they don't even want me, even if I was trying to give it.
Right.
I'm trying to share my problem. I'm not trying to take your light. No. I'm trying to give you a program, something that our kids need. It wasn't even about me so much. It was something that I thought the kids needed.
Right. Well, here's the thing. It's funny. There's a book called The Memo. My daughter, my board chair gave it to my daughter. And it's called The Memo. It's a black woman finding your seat at the table. It's by Minda Harts. Her name is Minda Harts. And what she said in the seminar that she just recently did, that was hosted by Leadership Louisville, she said, people need to understand that when I'm asking for a seat at the table, I'm not asking for your seat at the table. I'm asking for a bigger table. So a lot of times when you walk in and you try to present what you got, people think you want to take their seat.
Yeah.
I don't want your seat.
Yeah.
Like at Mama's house, when you pull the table out and put the leaf in the middle, you just made a bigger table where you just put more chairs at the table.
Right.
That's
what I used to say. What I say, Dave. I said, I'm not trying to steal your light. I can't steal your light, just like you can't steal my light.
Right.
I don't get your paycheck. You don't get mine.
But people are afraid of that. They're afraid of I'm never afraid of another program. I mean, and anybody that knows will tell you, if there's other music programs, I'm helping a guy right now. If there's other music programs out there, because people, I've had people call me, I remember Thunder one time, somebody had gone to them for some help with their program. Mm-hmm. And it was a music program similar to my music program. This person told that person, you need to go to ask Dave if it's okay for you to do that. And the person came to me, I'm confused. Like, why are you asking me for permission to do your program? Well, they told me to come to you because they've helped you out and they don't want us competing. I go, would you please go back and tell them we ain't competing, that we trying to save kids?
Right.
And
right.
It's plenty enough for everybody.
We competing to see how many we can save at one time.
Right. I said, look, I said, I'll call the person up and tell them myself.
Yeah.
Because I'm never competing with anybody.
Yeah.
I, to this day, anybody, and people can say this, I give money that I get to other programs so they can do their program.
Right.
Because we can't do it all, man. If I'm in it for these kids, for these parents, for this community, how can I be so selfish as to say if it ain't amped, then they don't need to do it? That's crazy.
No, right. Well, I applaud you, my brother.
Thank you, Ms. Janis.
Thank you for being my guest today.
Thank you. My pleasure. My pleasure. I enjoyed talking. I always enjoy talking to you.
Well, we'll do this again. You know, as things progress and you get some stars and that are shining bright doing some things over there and you want them to get some exposure, call me up. We bring them on the show.
Okay, for sure.
That's what we'll do. That's what we'll do. It's dinner time, Dave. So go have you some dinner.
Yes, thank you for inviting me to dinner.
Thank you, sweetie.
All right,
I'll see you soon.
All right, thank you.
Bye-bye. Dave Christopher. Man, did you hear that conversation? I get so pumped up, you know, especially when I talk to somebody that's doing some heavy lifting in the city. And all he's doing is trying to say yes to as many people that are trying to help our youth in this community as possible. You know, that's noble. That's noble. His work is noble. You know, that's just the best word I can think of right now to describe AMPed and the technology incubator. You know, it's noble. You know, all these things that we're trying to do to bring our community back together because our community is fractured. We need to pull it back together. The businesses, the churches going to be doing something. The church is going to come together and do something. But everybody, you know, even though everybody peeking behind their curtains, trying not to be seen, but meddling in everybody's business, you know, but won't say anything, see something and say nothing. You know, we got to, you know, come on. We got to have that community where it used to be easy to walk down the street to go to the store or where kids could feel comfortable walking. I used to walk to Shawnee from Cecil and Garland. You know, I think most kids don't want to walk anywhere. Think it's unsafe. Who wants to live in a city like that? Come on, that's not what we came from. That's not really who we are. You know, but in order to make a change, we must be the change. And I implore all of my listeners to, you know, step out of your comfort zone. Our kids need help. Programs need help. Go help a program. Mentor somebody. You know, so it's dinner time. Guess who's coming to dinner? We've had a fabulous day. I got the sun in my eyes. We've had a fabulous day. Bon appetit. See you on, what's today? Monday. Today's Monday. Ooh. Playoff time. See you later. See you on Friday. On Friday, I think we're going to have the owner of WLOU, Mr. David Smith. So join us so he can tell us all